And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the extended break, the extended delays here, but our players are now ready. The vetoes are finally done, and we have our first semifinals underway. As an update, the second semifinals is also just about to begin. I believe it is going to be Beyond versus Gumiho in the upper semis. We are here in the lower, and if you're in the chat, predictions are now open, so place your bets on how you think this series will unfold. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of side Delta, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Liquid, the red Terran. It is Kyor. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg, representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. Go. And I wonder what it is, but like my connection to Korea seems choppy these past couple of days. I don't like that. We typically don't have this kind of issue here, but yeah, hopefully everything settles out. So now Hatchgas will standard opener here from Dark, and I should also mention that if you're in the chat, predictions open. There we go. You have some time. You have some time to place your bets on who you think is going to be this week's finalist, our first finalist of these four players. Again, ESL Open Cup Americas have become ESL Open Cup Asia as only Koreans remain in the tournament. Kyor, Dark, Byeon, and Gumiho. Between the four players, one will be this week's champion. Only one. For now, we do have a Rax Expand standard opener here from Kyor, nothing too out of the norm. Nothing too crazy here so far, as yeah, we're just going to be easing into this. So far, I mean, we're going to be loading into side Delta, of course. A bit of a longer rush distance by ground, very long map in general. The last time we casted Dark versus Kyor on this map, I think it was in KSL, no, sorry. I think it was in last week's ESL Open Cups. And Dark was able to actually get into Muta play. When Lingbane Muta here on side Delta was able to shut down any kind of aggression, was able to shut down any kind of drop play of Kyor, contain him to 3 bases, and just shut him down over and over again. It was brutal to see. It was impressive that Dark was able to make those mutas work, but we'll see if he has a different approach this time. See if he has a different approach here against Kyor. And now Kyor is going to be threatening that 3rd base. Dark trying to sneak out, slip out with his Lings, trying to get across the map. Behind this, Kyor is getting into a 3cc before Starport. So very economic build here from Kyor. Going to be going for that Starport in the end. Should be seeing a Tech Lab and an add-on swap. Overlord is going to dip in. Does get eyes on the factory. Get the hell out of there. Likewise with Link Speed, we dive into the middle line. We get one, we get a Mule, we get an SCV. Big pickups here, oh my god. As Kyor was a bit out of position. Hellion's a little bit too late. 2 workers and a Mule go down. Good pickups here from Dark as he gets the hell out of there. He could even try to catch this Reaper, but alas, Dark will miss it. We'll just race back home. So he was able to get full scatter information. I believe he didn't see the add-on swap. We can see, of course, Banshees on the way. We haven't committed into Cloak yet. Looks like we won't be making Cloak, just Banshees for the time being. Just to secure ourselves. And I think this is just a really smart way to play against Dark. We've spoken about this many times, as there we go, Cloak is on the way. But Dark, he's very fond of Roach play. In general, Roach play is very much so on the table for Dark, so getting into Banshees is just a very secure way to play against Roaches. Obviously, Kyor doesn't know what's going on, and there is no Roach Warren currently, but if there was one, Kyor would be ready for it. Meanwhile, Dark rushing into his lair here, sub 4 minutes 30. Taking his gases, no Evo chambers. This could just be for a safety Baneling Nest. I'm really curious what kind of tech we go into. With 3 gases, a Roach Warden wouldn't be off the table, or we could just go straight for the Spire again. I mentioned before, but the last time we casted Dark versus Kyor on side Delta, Dark did go mutas. And we should have seen a Roach Warden by now. If we were playing Roaches, it should have been thrown down, and there we go. We have a Baneling Nest, 2 Evo Chambers on the way. We are playing Lingbane. It feels like Lingbane Muta. We'll see. We're getting there. But now we have the Hellions threatening a dive. We do take down one of those tumors. before backing up. I'm just really curious if this is going to be a trend. Still only 3 gases. We're getting into 1-1. We're getting towards Baneling speed. So it looks like we aren't taking up any further than this. Just Ling Bane for the time being. For now. This, of course, can lead into Ling Bane into Hive Tech as well. Into Ling Bane Ultra. Could be Hydras. It's been a while since I've seen Dark go Ling Bane Hydra, but has done so in the past. Has made use of his Lunkers in the past as well. As the Banshees there try to dip in. There's the Infestation Bit on the way. We're skipping the Spire. Let's go. And this looks like Ling Bane into Ultra. Okay. This is something that is typically reserved for larger maps. Oh no, the drones, they're following. They're following the Queen. The gases aren't being taken. But yeah, this is typically reserved for larger maps like Alcyone or even not quite Radisson Station just because of some of the other features of the map. But you do typically need a lot of breathing room here to defend with just pure Ling Bane. Rushing into Ultras is a really risky thing to do because you lack anti-air, so you have a hard time keeping up with drop play. You have a hard time keeping up with the multi-pronged aggression here of the Terran player without any mutas or Hydras. Now, I'm assuming it's going to be into Ultras. Hive is on the way. There is still the possibility to throw down a Lurker Den to go into Ling Bane Hydra Lurker. It is possible. It is still on the table. As Banshees then rotate over towards the south, they're going to be threatening the southern base. Oh! Ooh, do not get the cancel though. They do manage to get a bunch of hits in. Queens have to rotate back around. Meanwhile, here on the front lines, Armory is still on the way, so we do have a Hellion Buyer push coming in. Infestors in production. Plenty of Ling Bane. And we force out a stim. Oh! The Banelings say will crash forward. They connect with the Hellions. And the one Hellion does survive. Up! He's looking. Forces out another stim. And Cure will have to pick up, have to get the hell out of there. Another double drop on the way, going for a bit of a multi-pronged push here. Cure trying to pull Dark apart. Hive is about to finish, so that'll grant access to Adrenal, of course. 2 Adrenal glands. There's that double drop here towards the south. Drilling Claws on the way. 2-2 here for the Terran. Everything looking as it should. And there it is. There's that Ultra Cavern. Again, Ling Bane into Ultra was on the way. When the Hive was being made, there was still a possibility for those Hydras. Meanwhile, here we go. Big Fungal. Oh my god! Massive Fungal here on the drop. The Marines, they get completely cleaned up. And now Darky can focus on that main push. You're threatening a drop. The Queen. Chipping away at that medevac. But this is dangerous. Essentially, Dark, he's shutting down these drops. He's getting away with 80 workers. He's on 4 bases. He's actually on 5 bases. And the Ultra Cavern has not been scouted. Cure, he doesn't know that he has to get ready for... Oh no! The bird Banelings! Oh my god. They pop off. There's still 2 left, by the way. Ay, ay, ay. There's still 2 burrowed there. But yeah, essentially, Cure, he doesn't know that he needs Ghosts and Libs. He needs to start transitioning to deal with those Ultras. There are ways away, to be fair, but the tech is done. Another Mind Drop coming in, getting some damage done. We are going to be able to barely save them, though. Do save those Widowmines. Push coming in. A bunch of Widowmines are set up. Show me the Fungal. Oh! Oh my god. Massive connections. Massive Baneling connections, I should say. As Cure once again gets cleaned up. We do have a Mind Drop coming in. No reaction. Oh my god. 6 workers do go down. We do have another Mind Drop set up here towards the south as well. We scan ahead of time. We deal with those Barred Banelings. Cure, he's keeping up. Oh no! Oh god. I almost spoke too soon. Ooh, big mine shots. Big connection here towards the south. As the Fungals connect once again, and Dark cleans this up. Oh my god. From the low ground even. And Kindness Plating is finishing, so we're going to have, of course, our armor upgrades for the Ultras. Once again, big Mind Shot's going to be going up as well. They will be cleaned up. Dark threatening a dive towards that planetary. Before being forced back. And with this, with Kindness Plating now done, with 3-3 on the way, Ultras are now in production. Ultras are finally on the way. Again, Darky successfully defended until he's gotten here. Big link counterattack, hits the third base. Liberators have arrived! Oh, the mines! Decent mine shots, but we clean up the army nonetheless. We get us around at the same time. We have Lings in the natural, Lings at the third base, Lings everywhere. SCVs are falling. We're even catching reinforcements. Ay, ay, ay. And it looks like Dark has just pulled the Cure apart. We even have some borrowed Lings. That's going to be a kill on the natural base. The CC goes down, which just can be the production, picking up whatever comes out. And behind this, here come those Ultras. By that I mean what? There's one Ultra here. There we go. We got a couple more on the way. Do we have a Ghost Academy? We do not. No Ghost Academy. No Ghost. Liberators will help, but one without the other is not ideal here. Cure with a standing army. Trying to hold on. Lings, they come in once again. Going for the sensor tower. They're gonna get it. Meanwhile, Darky's also throwing down a Spire just so he's ready for Broodlords and Corruptors. I mean, now that there are Liberators, Corruptors are going to be necessary here to deal with the or deal with whatever's in the air. Vipers aren't as influential just because there aren't any tanks. Not yet. The rocks are being knocked down. And Dark just securing himself essentially. Like, sure, he's giving Cure some time to remax, and Cure, he is remaxing, don't get me wrong. But Dark has a bank. He's looking to surround this army as well. Actually going for a run by, but he does get caught. And good movement here from Cure. At the same time, Nidus into the main. Uh-oh. Which I don't think has been spotted, by the way. A couple of reinforcements are going to try to engage, and they will shut this down. Just barely. Ultra going to be forced back. Ultra going down here towards the north. And not a bad trade. Not a bad trade here for Cure. As the Liberators are leapfrogging forward. There's still no answer. We do have Corruptors still just now on the way. Corruptors are coming. Meanwhile, a Doom drop towards the main base. Hatchery has gone down. You're trying to stabilize here. Lings, they get into the middle line, but they don't get much done. At the same time, we get the Doom drop into the main. But, oh, Cure, he's paying attention. He's in position. No! Overlords are going to be forced back. Dark still looking for trades. Not get in. But the Corruptors, they've arrived. We finally deal with these libs. God, the minefield is crazy. Massive mine shot's gonna be going off. Clean up the Lings. Meanwhile, Bailey run by into the mineral line. Oh, we just crashed through the wall. We don't get much else, a handful of SCVs. But they come in to clean up everything else. Ooh, big mine shots. We get 10 workers. Cure down to 50. Nidus into the main. Additional widow mines on the way. Like, the mine count's terrifying here from Cure, and as a result, he can like absorb some of these attacks, absorb some of these pushes. He's attempting to establish another base. If he can get this base up and running, he's still in this. The Fuggles doesn't connect with much. Power bomb's going to be going up. Ling Bane comes in, and it looks like we do force back the army, but there's still so many marauders. Not too sure if that was very well worth it here for Dark. Threw away a lot in that fight. Corruptors are finding more damage though. They're able to find a lib, a medevac. Every little bit helps. Dive into the main. We catch another lib. How does he find them? How? Behind this Dark, he's just taking every other base on his side of the map as well. He's still in a secure economy. Still can remax and rebuild. He's had a really hard time engaging with the main army of Cure because of the minefield and the lib setup. Pushing right through the center once again. Mine shot's going to be going off. It looks like we collapse on the third base. We catch part of the army, and there's no way out. Not with these corruptors. We shut down the Medevac. Cure trying to chase this army from behind. The Fungals. Oof. Bailey's a roll on forward. Big mine shots, actually. Not a bad fight here from Cure, but he's just running out of steam. He's running out of resources, running out of money. Mine shot's going to be going off, but again, it looks like there's just too much Zerg. GG gets called. Cure is overwhelmed. And Dark will take game number 1. GG. Just saw the chat. Just noticed your convo. I was out touching grass. It's been a long day. You're in Animal Park. Imagine touching grass. Aye. GG, well played. Dark does take the first game. Again, from almost the beginning, Dark was in a pretty secure position just because he was shutting down the drops so well. Cure, he was going for constant double drops, but we saw multiple times that Dark was able to get on top of them with his Bailings, shut them down with Fungals, and clean them up. And as a result, Dark, he had a pretty secure path to joining up to 80. Like, his worker count, like getting up to full saturation was a pretty easy road for Dark just because of how well he was shutting down those drops. As a result, he could afford to go into the Hive, into Adrenal, into the Ultra upgrades early on. Didn't really rush into making those Ultras. He waited until he had his upgrades first, then he got into them, and yeah, he was able to eventually just pull apart his opponent. Cure almost managed to stabilize after losing a lot of his economy. He almost managed to stabilize towards the end, but we saw that Dark was able to outposition him. Cure, he was stuck on a low-tech army, a mid-tier army with Liberators and Widow Mines. No ghosts whatsoever to help deal with the Ultras or the Infestors or the Vipers. We couldn't afford it. The reality is that Cure, because he lost so many workers in the mid-game, he just could not afford to tech up even further. He was kind of desperate in his playstyle, and yeah, in the end, he was overwhelmed. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkyone, we have the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Dragon TvZ Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is Dark. Catching up. 815 Adrenal Ultra. Dark is my hero. I mean, so for some context as well, rushing into Hive and rushing into Ultras is typically reserved for larger maps like Side Delta. This is another good one, Alcyone. If you remember, I corrected myself. I was in the last game I was saying like Radisson Station. Like, true, you can rush into Hive and rush into Ultras in Radisson Station, but Ultras are limited in their usefulness on that map specifically, just because of the limited attack angles. The center of the map is wide open, but yeah, I'm not too sure if rushing into Ultra specifically is the way to approach that map in CVT. But again, some of these other maps like Ideal, Hecate even. As we are going for a low ground 2-axe. 2-axe Reaper coming out from Cure. Gonna be getting into that Reaper production again. The goal here is to contain the Zerg player, deny the third, and hold them on 2 bases for as long as possible. Now, Dark, when he's typically up against this, he tries to be greedy and rush into that 3rd base. We'll see if he can get away with it. See if he can get away with it, or if he even tries to go for a faster 3rd. I think I said goal base. But there is a goal. That was on the mind. Was on the brain. Reapers are moving out. Opener has been spotted. Dark is aware. For now, Dark, he is going to be prioritizing his link speed. Link speed is on the way. Drone is moving out towards that 3rd base, so Dark is being a little bit greedy. Is going to be hiding this drone, eventually taking it as his 3rd. And we'll see if Cure can punish it. It's very high risk, high reward here from Dark to try to sneak out that 3rd base. There it is. It's on the way. Reapers, they do rotate around. They do get eyes on this 3rd. We do have a 3rd Reaper on the way, but we are not making a 4th and 5th. Cure, he's staying on only 3 Reapers, which means Dark can deal with this. Yeah, Lings are in production. Dark cutting workers very early on. A lot of Lings are on the way. He does realize that there's only 3. He's going across the map. He's looking to deny these add-ons. Ay. And really, it's going to be Cure who gets punished. We get on top of the tech lab. We get on top of the reactor as well. Reapers will not get a kill or a denial on this 3rd. Oh, link speed kicks in. And we shut down the Reapers. Oh my god. Not like this. There's no way out. Every single Reaper goes down. The add-ons are denied. The wall is under fire. And Dark, he's flooding across the map. Behind this, he's droning. For those that are curious, you can't actually, or you shouldn't be able to cancel this 3rd base with only 3 Reapers. If you see the 3rd coming ahead of time, we need a 4th and a 5th Reaper on the way to help punish this. Alas, Cure didn't have that on the way. He was trying to transition. He gets punished for it. Dark, he saves his 3rd. He shuts down the add-ons. Cure is behind. Cure, his opener here has been shut down. He's working towards his 3rd TC, towards his 2-1-1 setup. But Stim is heavily delayed. From here, Dark can drone. From here, Dark, he is free to just saturate his bases, spread his creep, drone up to 3-base saturation, 66 workers. Get into his own Bailey Nest, Evo Chambers, 1-1. Dark can do as he pleases. And again, the window here, or the timing that we're going to be hitting with Stim is going to be a little bit later than normal, which is why Dark can cut corners. Hopefully he doesn't cut too many though. Like, we still have to respect the bio army that should be coming. A couple of Hellions were made as well before going for the add-on swap. We could lead into an armory for a Hellbat push alongside this, but we'll see if we commit that hard. Zerglord will eventually go down. Hellions are going to be threatening across the map. There are Lings out. 4th base is being taken. Dark droning up to almost 60. Again, I feel like 66 is the most you want to really drone up to, as gases are now being taken. There's the lair. There's the Bailey Nest on the way. Here is going to be forced back. Driving is the worst part. Oh. And especially if long drives are happening, then it can. I mean, it depends. Like, some people really enjoy driving, others less so. I guess it depends if you're in traffic as well. Regardless, we have the double drop here on the right-hand side, making its way towards the third and the main. Dark has drawn up to almost 66, which is where he wants to be stopping at. Now he can focus on his army production. Drop comes into the main, but Dark is all over this. Oh. Has to be careful, though. The unload does finish. Uh-oh. And we're going straight for the main. Lings, they have to engage, but Curie can trade so well against them. The Lings, they get annihilated. We have reinforcements on the way. Boys are being pulled. This double jump getting out of hand. It will be cleaned up, but it traded so damn well. That is 39. 39 Lings going down. At the same time, the Hellies are getting to the natural. Drones are getting roasted. Ooh, big connections. 11 drones go down. Dark is hurting. This should not have happened. Again, if Dark was in position with his Lings, he would have been able to shut down the drop ahead of time, and then would have had more than enough to deal with those Hellions. But Cure, he's making some magic happen here. He's now up in economy. He's getting up there when it comes to tech with 1-1 on the way. It's going to be Bio Tank. Dark has some time to lick his wounds, but... and he's got quite a lot of droning to do here. Marines, they stim on 4, they shut down some of these tumors. We are going for another drop here on the left hand side towards that 4th. Darker is in position, should be able to shut this down. Unlike the previous double drop, which got a bit out of hand, this time we're ready for it. Hydra was thrown down, so Lingbait and Hydra is going to be the composition of choice here for Dark. He's going to be able to keep up with the movement here of these medevacs, ideally. Going to help be in position and shut them down. Secure is pushing. Behind this, is still building up his tank count, leaving his tanks back at home, only moving out with his Marines. Doesn't want to throw away anything too major. Knocking down those rocks. Threatening a dive as Cure does back up. And again, Cure, he doesn't want to commit. He doesn't want to commit, not yet. He's building up that tank count, as I mentioned before. He's working towards 2-2. He's got 4 tanks currently. He's leaving 1 back at home. He's moving out with everything else. Because of the economic damage done earlier, Curie's in a good position. He's up in supply. Up in supply, pushing right through the center. Dark, he has to get in position. We have that drop on the right hand side. I'm loving the setup here from Cure. Getting a nice spread of tanks. But he has to come back over. Ooh. And using the terrain here. Does take some Banelings to the face. Both players are maxing out. 2-2 about to kick in for Cure. And they're getting ground at the same time. A massive Link counterattack. Oh my god. This hatchery should fall. We have reinforcements back at home. That 1 tank that we left behind, it's paying off. Dark, he's in some trouble. Yeah, he won't be able to hold on to this base. More reinforcements are on the way. Cure may be hoping that that counterattack went back home, but no, it's still across the map. As he's going for a drop in towards the main. A bold move here from Cure, but the Queens are in position. Ooh, full medevac goes down. Rough trades. Not really what we wanted to see. do retreat with our medevacs. Another wave of reinforcements are on the way. We're still getting ready for that counterattack. Another hatchery is falling. We're going for a ninja base? Okay, Dark. I mean, he's double expanding, trying to take other bases, trying to keep his economy going. Oh god! Ooh. Sure, does leave his army idle. Unfortunately, there's a little bit too much back at home to defend. Ah, but here we go. This is what we're getting ready for. We're getting ready for the surround. We have 40 Lings in production. And we're looking to collapse on this position. And here we go. From behind, from the front, we get on top of the tanks. And the Ling Bane should be able to get on top of the army as well. Pure getting cleaned up here. He does escape with his Marines. But his tank count was reset. Hello. Oh, Cure, he's checking! No shot. Oh, he was checking. Does pull back. Feels like that. There's no need to check these southern bases. There's no way that Dark was able to take this base, right? Oh, copium. The hive is done. I believe we do not have any Vipers. No, sorry, we have 3 Vipers. Big tank shots. Ooh. Massive tank shots here on the army. But the arrival of these Vipers will change things. They're gathering energy in the main. Maybe a cancel on that hatchery. At the same time, we have another push on the left-hand side. Dark, he's being pulled apart. He cannot keep up. Well, he's having a hard time keeping up here. He needs time. He needs time to rebuild. But Kiori's all over him. Here we get the jump into the main base. Push on the left-hand side. No tanks or widow mines, so this push is lacking. We have to be very careful. Jump the main finally being cleaned up. Some of the Marauders, Baileys, they roll on forward. Decent connections, but again, Curie's gaining ground. No lurkers here whatsoever. The Hydras are exposed. They need support. They need support, but it looks like there's just too much. There's just too much Terran. And Cure has broken this base. He's broken the army. No lurkers, no ultras, no banelings. The ultras that come out now, but it's too little too late. This base will fall. Dark contained to a 3-base economy. 3.5 bases with this base on the right-hand side. But again, a lot of this came down to how much damage Cure did early on. Remember, he killed 11 drones and he traded so well, killing 39 Lings. If it wasn't for those trades, then we would have seen a very different game. Cure set himself up for success. He did so well in the early game, and yeah, it's really showing off here in the mid game. Ghosts are coming out, Liberators as well. Cure, his bases have been left untouched. With that, Cure should be he should be able to snowball out of control. Like this, just it's a numbers game at this point, and in this scenario, the soup does not lie. It was. We do get on top of some of these tanks. Looks like maybe 2 tanks are going to go down. 2 tanks are going to go down, but it's not going to be enough. GG gets called, and Cure will take game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. We're going to the ace match. We are going all the way to game number 3. And again, Cure, he just did so much damage early on, and it was something that Dark was never able to really recover from. Just goes to show how important it is in the early to mid game to actually maintain your position, to maintain yourself. Otherwise, it can all just crumble down. Or just, yeah, the dominoes, they start falling one after the other. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting ready for the ace match. Game 3. We're going all the way to that final game. I'm ready for it. I do just need some water. I'm empty. So 1 moment. Be back soon. Okay, we are back and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Hard Lead. We have the South Korean Terran players tying up the series 1-1, forcing the ace match. Representing Team Liquid, it is Cure. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zero player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. Here we go. The ace match is here, the final game of our first semifinals. Again, Beyond versus Gumiho is currently still ongoing in the upper semis. Uncertain as to the scoreline there, but they're looking to determine who faces off here in the grand finals. Who will meet us so far? I think, yep, still has not wrapped up. And we have another low ground 2 racks. Again, winding the clock back a little bit. Dark had a good start. He had a good opener. Maybe that's a better way to put it. He had a good opener, shutting down the Reapers and shutting down the add-ons and delaying the push, delaying the stim drop. But the 2-on-1 drop play did get too much done. It looked like Dark, he just wasn't able to see it ahead of time. Remember, he did miss the drop. It got into the main base and it got out of control. It did get out of control, and yeah, with that, Dark wasn't able to recover. As once again, Hatch Gas Pool standard opener from Dark, and we'll see if Dark can replicate the success when it comes to the opener of game 1, or if he has a harder time here. Sorry, of game 2, or if he has a harder time in game number 3. These Reapers are making their way across the map. I don't look forward to it. I have to drive around. Oh. Not like this. As Reapers, they dip into the main base. Things are in position. And the Reaper's going to be able to threaten the mineral line. Dark, once again, trying to sneak out that third. Is going to get it on the way. Now, Hard Lead is a short rush distance, has a very short rush distance by ground. I think the shortest in the entire map pool, if I'm not mistaken. So a very aggressive map here for the ace match, which means I would not be surprised if Dark were to throw down a Roach Horn. Obviously not this early on, we have link speed and no gas mining, but getting into the mid game, Roach play and Roach aggression would not be off the table here for Dark. Just to make use of the map, make use of the terrain. Meanwhile, the Reapers, they ignored the third base this time. They're going to be threatening the main. Which means Dark will get away with his third. Behind this, Cure getting into his add-on transition. This time the add-ons are on his own side of the wall, so they're going to be safe. They're not going to be cancelled. And Cure is getting into his third CC. So a very economic 3CC 2-on-1 from Cure. Just like last game. Remember, last game this was delayed, and Dark was maybe too greedy as he catches the Reapers. Catches 2. Big pickoffs. But yeah, this 2-on-1 was delayed last game. This game should be able to hit a crisp timing. Should be okay. So we are going to be settling into this. Joining up our bases. Queens in production. Even getting ready to knock down these rocks. I mentioned before that aggression and all-ins are favored here on Hard Lead. Okay, my mind is still on Roaches here for Dark, but we'll see. Now, it's going to be 3CC 2-on-1 into Banshee production. Interesting variation. So, I like this from Cure. Beyond is very fond of this. Maru is very fond of this. I don't see this too often out of Cure, but essentially, these Banshees, they can wreak havoc. Dark, he should be getting ready for a bio drop, a bio push, right? Just like last game, we should be getting ready for medevacs. Instead, we don't see a reactor on the starport. We see a tech lab. We're going into Banshees to sneak out and get some damage done, and to catch Dark off guard. This could be devastating, just because Dark has no spores, because he has no reason for spores, because there should be medevacs, not Banshees. So we'll see if he's ready for it. Meanwhile, behind this, Bailey Nest, double Evo chamber. It looks like Lingbane. Looks like we are not going into roaches. Just Lingbane here from Dark. Nothing too out of the norm. Nothing too crazy. As this should be 1-1 upgrades. Very similar to the previous game. Let's say he'll go Lingbane Hydra again, but it's on the table. It is a possibility. As his first Banshee is moving out across the map in between the bases, and there's no detection. Oh wait, no, sorry, there is a spore on the left-hand side, ready for Liberators. No spore at the natural though. Yeah, we can go to town. Here comes the Overseer. The surround, the queen. Oh my god, Dark. That was beautiful. The queen surround, aesthetically pleasing as we shut down that Banshee. Be droning up from here, taking additional bases. And here comes that stim timing from Cure. Again, this time many more Marines than in game number 2. We should be ready for it though. Yeah, we got Bailings, Lings, Queens as well. Dark, he does see this army with the Changeling actually. He knows. He's aware. As we're even going to be reinforcing with the tank. You're going to be pushing it forward. Good tank positioning as well, but here comes Ling Bane. The Bailings. Ooh, they do crash in. Decent connections. Tank goes down, but we still have so many more Marines. We can keep pushing. Oh, where are the Queens? Where are the Queens? Where are the Lings? Yeah, the Marines are getting out of control. They're getting out of control. They get on top of the hatchery. Hatchery is going to be going down. Oh, do we get it? Do we get the base? So far, good target firing. We don't get the hatchery, but we trade well nonetheless. Drop does get out. And Cure is forced back. But he still does have some momentum going his way. Tank has arrived. Can he get onto these Bailings once again? Ooh, we even have some borrowed Bailings on the left-hand side. Bold move here from Dark. He's driven to 80, but this hatchery is going to fall. Hatchery goes down. Cure, he could rotate around towards some of these fringe bases, but no, he keeps pushing. And he's going to get surrounded. Much better engagement this time out of Dark. Again, these borrowed Bailings, are they going to come into play? Uh-oh. I am concerned. Dark is going to be rotating around, getting ready for a drop on the right-hand side. The bio push keeps on coming. He has less on Lingbane. Forces us back. Doing what it can as well. And this is still anyone's game here. Dark still sub 80 workers, just now getting his 4th base back up and running, working on his 5th. Good tank positioning once again here from Cure. Oh my god. Able to cover the ramp for the Fungals. Massive Fungal in the Bio Army. Big chain Fungal as well. We clean up the Marines. Ay, ay, ay. At the same time, here comes a big counterattack. We do have an army in position. No Bailings out of Dark, so Curie is able to defend. But Dark should be able to shut down these tanks. The mines. Ooh. Nice last second split. Both tanks go down. drop in the main base, gets deflected. This time Dark is keeping up. He shuts down every single attack. He may have lost the base earlier, but he kept his workers alive. Now back up to 82. Hive is done. Adrenal on the way. Ultra Cavern with Kindness plating as well. We're getting there. Show me the Fungals. No Bailings. Oh, no, sorry. There wasn't. I didn't see the Bailing myself, but we do have a big connection. Dark all over these pushes. Doesn't have enough energy for another Fungal, though. He has to bide his time. Mine shots are going to be going off. Big mine shots even. At the same time, Dark, he goes for a big counter attack. This time, Cure's out of position. Big mine. Oh, the Bailing shots. The Bailings. They take down the Mineral Lion. Looks like Cure, he will hold. At the same time, goes for his own push, but he gets deflected. And Dark is running away with this. The supplies may look similar, but Dark, he still has a much better economy. He can remax, even catch some medevacs. And Cure is still recovering. Still getting there. Here come the Marines pushing on forward. Likewise, Dark waiting for him on top of the ramp, this time with Fungals. Still has those 3 Infestors alive the entire game. And if Cure ever overextends, Dark is there to stop him. Speaking of, Bailings are finishing up. Oh, we have Ultras in the mix now. We do have a Widowmine in position, but Dark is just getting ready to collapse on both these locations. Mine shot goes off. Ultras come in. Decent mine shot here on the Lings. But the SCVs go down once again. An entire Mineral Line, 17 workers. It's just a battle of attrition here. How long can Cure sustain himself? He still has a lot. I mean, again, he just has to rebuild all those SCVs. We have a couple of token swarm hosts on the way. Just to be a part of the fight. Rockstar being knocked down. Sensor tower as well. We're looking for a Fungal. He wants it. The mine shots. Ooh, big mine shots on the Lings. A bit of a better drag there from Dark this time. At the same time, we do have a big Ling Bane counterattack. We get into the middle line. 11 SCVs go down. The Fungals. Oh my god. Once again, big connections on the army. Dark, he backs up. He remaxes. 15 more workers went down. Cure, he has a comparable army supply. Oh. Cure, he does have a comparable army. But here come the Fungals! Oh, once again, massive connections. And Cure is getting cleaned up. Another massive Fungal here on the army as it tries to retreat, and everything gets blanketed, everything gets covered. Dark, he's just locking him down, and there's just nothing left here back at home. We have a couple of reinforcements. Good mine shots. We have seen some good mine shots this game, but just on their own, they are not enough. It's going to be a kill on the third base, not a lift. You can see Cure here desperately trying to trade well here using the lib. But it's just a numbers game, Bobby. We can't keep up. We can't hold on. There's one planetary left here. It's gonna go down. We have another planetary towards the south. Cure on just under 3 base saturation. Quite under 3 base saturation. As it's down to 42 workers. And this is going to be his final stand. The Locust Waves. Are the Stormers still alive? They are. Oh, right there they are. Shout out to Dark, by the way. Preserving these ultras, keeping them alive, keeping them going. Living their dream. Living their best life. This is when we double down on Stormhost production. I mean, Dark is maxed. He could... Throwing away these ultras would probably be a good thing, but it's fine. Dark, he cares about all of his units, all shapes and sizes. They're all his boys. The infestors, they are sharking around. Oh. Here we go, we dive on in once again. Power bombs, fungal growth combo as well. And with the power of these ultras, there is no stopping Dark. We can maybe pick off some of the ultras with the marauders. The hopium, the cobium here for Cure is real. Wants to keep the dream alive, wants to keep his stream going. But the reinforcements are trickling on in, like there's no way to deal with this. Once again, we get into the mineral line. We're down to 35 SCVs. We're going to be down to even less. GG gets called. It's just too much. And Dark will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played, Dark. He will take it in the end, will advance on to the grand finals. My condolences to Cure. He did well, making it here to the ace match and forcing game 3. But here, game 3 was very similar to game number 1, where things were back and forth for a while, don't get me wrong. But because Dark didn't go into Hydras this time, he had the gas to go into Infestors. And mate, those Infestors, they were so value. The amount of fungals that we saw, the amount of drops and pushes that were completely shut down. Again, the downside is you lack anti-air, but Dark, he was confident enough in his play to keep up with Lingbane Infestor for a long time, eventually getting into Ultras. And of course, preserving and keeping those Infestors alive. Yeah, really well done. Really well done. Really solid play here, just shutting down the drops and as a result getting ahead. Giving himself the breathing room he needed to actually get some economic damage done as well. Solid stuff. GG. And with that, we have the grand finals ready for us. I was not expecting this, but we have our score. It is going to be another ZVT, as we have a Terran confirmed for the finals, of course. It is going to be Dark versus Gumiho. And that Gumiho versus Beyond could have gone either way, that's fine. But I just wasn't expecting Gumiho to 2-0. Beyond was 2-0'd in the upper semis. Gumiho looking strong, looking powerful. Gonna be going up against Dark next.